Good evening, friends and relatives and anybody else that wants to listen to me run my mouth. My name is Shirley Prater. I'm a retired paramedic and registered nurse. And a little bit of history about me is, politically anyway, is the fact that I didn't used to be interested in politics until about my mid-50s. I'm 66 now. I'll be 67 in a few more months. But there's a few things that, well, there's more than a few things that have absolutely pissed me off. And I am normally a very reserved person, a very conservative person. Yes, I am a Republican, and my heart is bleeding for all the people in Afghanistan who have not been able to get out of that country. There are two very brave young men that I would like to mention that I've seen on videos tonight. I didn't take the time to get their permission to say their names, but as a conservative Republican, a big-hearted type person that I am, I feel it necessary to thank these young men for what they've done, because the government sure has let them down for what they've done. The first one I heard about, his name is Chad Robineau. I think I'm saying that right. He is an ex-Force Recon Marine, and apparently a very talented one at that. He got some guys together to make the story a little shorter, and to be truthful, I don't know all the total details, but he got some guys together and went into Afghanistan, and they were able to rescue over 5,200 people. And then as they were about to put some more from a bus onto planes, they were told to take those people off the bus or out of the buses. I'm not sure which. If it was one bus or multiple buses, I don't know. He was told by a military, quote, military commander, unquote, to stop what he was doing. He had to get those people off the bus or buses and essentially send them back to the Taliban. I don't know if there were any Americans in that group of people or those groups of people. I don't know, but we need to find out. I'm sure Mr. or Marine Robineau will do his best to fill us in more later. And God bless you, Chad Robineau. You're one brave man, and we need thousands more like you, and I know that we have them. And I know that some are not allowed to do things to meet their full capacities of their training and their abilities, and it's a shame, because we've got some good, talented, smart, level-headed men in our men and women in our military, and they need to be given the chances that they signed up for. They need to be respected by their commanders, whoever is above their head, if there is anyone above their head, with a working head of their own. But God bless you, Chad, and our prayers will be with you and your families. Family, whatever, whoever's in your life. Know that us poor old civilians out here, we would love to have your back, have your six. And the second one I'd like to mention is Stewart Scheller. Not sure where he's from either. This man, he's a 17-year Marine, active Marine, and he was recently, relieved of his duties because he posted a video. He's like the rest of us. He's speaking for a lot of people, and he's speaking from his heart. He wants accountability for the crap that went down in Afghanistan. Why it happened the way it did. Why was that particular time chosen to do it? The methods that they used. And he, like I said, like the rest of us, he's wanting some answers. President Trump warned that if you did this hastily, in so many words, there would be a price to pay, and hellfire and everything else. There was a price to pay. 13 of our people that we know of. How many more? How far is that number going to go up before it's all over with? And my stomach's been tied in knots, anticipating August 31st. I'm not sure we're going to be able to handle it because of who's in the White House. But again, God bless Stewart Scheller. Once again, he's the 17-year Marine, still active, trying to get some answers. There's many, many more, the way I understand it, many, many more of our military wanting and needing some answers, because there are those who were friends of the ones that we lost in the bombing. And it's plain and simple, the Taliban is calling the shots. They're saying who goes into the airport and who don't. I just am not sure that if I was in the military right now and was armed and uniformed and younger, that I wouldn't take my gun and back those people up. Yeah, you get your orders, and yeah, if you disobey your orders, you stand a chance of getting court-martialed, and sent to prison, which, if that happens to any of our guys, oh my goodness, I have a feeling there'll be a whole lot of people working on trying to get them out, because it just won't be the right thing to do. But with the way our president is going right now, he's not doing too many right things. And he needs to think about retiring. First resigning, or maybe first accepting total responsibility. Come out and say it, Joe Biden. You screwed up. Big time. Hasty withdrawal that President Trump warned you about. You should have listened. But no, I guess you think that you know more than he does. And it's not a brain game. Being president is not a brain game. It shouldn't be a brain game. There shouldn't be any, wait a minute, I'm smarter than you, or I'm a few years older than you with a little more experience. Any of that crap needs to go right out the window. As I said in the beginning of my introduction, I'm a retired paramedic and registered nurse. I think I told you anyway. When I was working, actively working, I also taught in my profession. I taught pre-hospital caregiving, the EMT level, AEMT level at a local college. And I always taught teamwork. Because if you think you can go out there and do it all by yourself, you're wrong. And our soldiers will tell you that too, I bet. You know, that's why they group them up into platoons and whatever they're called. My dad was a Navy veteran in World War II, a machinist. He didn't see any fighting that I'm aware of, but it's worth mentioning. My dad, to me, he was my hero, one of my heroes. But anyway, I just wanted to bring it to as many people's attention as I could. I know that they're going to be seeing Chad and Stewart. They're going to probably be in the spotlight from here on out. I couldn't believe that Chad was able to get, the exact number I got was 5,289 people out on planes headed out of that country. He had more on buses, and he was told by a military commander to stop. I'd like to know that military commander's name. Anyway, and Stewart Scheller, a 17-year active duty Marine. Thanks to both of you. You are true heroes, patriotic to the core, have all the qualities of a full-blooded American, dedicated American common-sensed, skillful, leadership type personalities. And I cannot believe that someone told you, Chad, to stop rescuing people, and you, Stewart, got relieved of your duties because you posted something online saying that you wanted accountability to the Afghanistan disaster. Well, Stewart, I want that accountability too, to go to the, I want the people. It's not just one person. I want the people responsible to at least admit that they were stupid or had a moment of stupidosis. It's just ridiculous. We need to get Biden and Harris and Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Adam Schiff. We need to get all of those radical leftists out of our government. Hopefully we'll get some strength in 2022 and gain back our abilities to get some better things done. I just cringe at the thought that the current administration has the ball right now, and they're gonna take advantage of any and everything they can do to try to finish us up as a country. It's already a royal mess. No, I'm not dissing the Queen or anybody like that. When I say royal, I mean huge mess. We need to let our soldiers start working back as teams with our allies who went over there with us to help protect us and get back at the people who caused 9/11/2001. You know, we still got some sore spots about what happened there. They took our country and twisted it like a pretzel the day they took down those two towers and hit the Pentagon and forced those people to have to make a crash in a field somewhere. They killed a lot of our people, and I'm not saying anything anybody don't already know. I am like Chad and Stewart. I want accountability. I've seen Kat Kamek, Congresswoman. She's working really hard to get some answers and get some things done. And me being older, my memory doesn't serve me as well as it should. But every once in a while I'll remember another name. But I wanted to mention these two gentlemen because they touched my heart today, and I want both of you, if you get to see this, I hope both of you know that me and my husband are behind you all the way, and if we could do anything about it, we would, to help you. But we're a little older now. We could come and be your, he's a medic too, we could come and be your medics. If we were a little younger and a little stronger. It used to be that way. In a more lighthearted moment, I have to say this. I have said to my husband several times, due to my age and the fact that I am past a certain point in my life that all women pretty much go through, and you married guys out there know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the big M. And I've had my children. They're grown. They're out of the house. Together, me and my husband have 5, 2 girls and 3 boys. None of them in the military, like I had dreamed way back when. But I've told him often, especially when I was going through the big M, they should send a woman or women like me who have already raised their families, who have retired, and who held a position of public service at one time, that somewhat would enable her to project her attitude, shall I say, and just send a bunch of us women over there. We know to stay low to the ground, cover our faces, cover our whole beings. You know, that's all fine and dandy. They're just giving us a way to hide our weapons. So, I told Clyde that I would like to dress up like Medea and hide my weapons up under my big dress, my styling dress. Now, I'll take them out if they crossed me. I'd gather up people, follow me. I'm going to the airport, and if we got headed off by the Taliban, and especially if one of them whacked me with one of their little rubber hoses, there'd be a fight going on. So they need to send us girls over there, because we'd sure take them by surprise. It might not be equal in strength, but the element of surprise sometimes works. Just ask our military guys and ladies who are on the front line. I think I've said about what I intended to say for now. I might make another video, but just keep Chad Robineau and Stewart Scheller in your prayers, and many, many, many more. These guys, there was no reason to relieve Stewart of his duties, and there was no earthly reason to tell Chad to stop what he was doing, and he was already in country. He had already sent 5,289 people out of that country successfully. And I would like to find out more information about these young men, because they deserve all kinds of recognition, but maybe it would be better to keep it a little on the low, because we don't want to give out too much information and give away too much information like our dear presidential administration did. They ultimately gave the Taliban a list of names. Well, that makes about as much sense as putting an elevator in an outhouse. I'm telling you. It's like you walk right up to the enemy. Here's all the names and phone numbers and addresses, I might add, to all the people who need to get out of here. Americans and Afghanis who help the Americans. Well, what does Taliban do? They start drooling at the mouth, because they've been handed all the information that they need to go to these people, capture them, take them, torture them, behead them, or whatever they want to do to them. So you can thank President Biden for that. You can thank President Biden and his administration for all this mess. It's ridiculous. It never would have happened this way if President Trump had still been in office. So we can only pray. So let's pray a lot. And just to be honest, I'll pray starting right now. If you'll bow your heads with me. Our Father in heaven, please, please be with our military who are up against these evil people in Afghanistan. These evil people, the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda, and the ISIS-K. Please, please do not allow them to congregate or unite and get stronger and do us more harm. Please bring down your swift hand of justice and help move them back. Be with all our military personnel, Air Force, Marines, Navy, Army, Reserves, anybody that has our interpreters, anybody that is over there, our reporters, our American reporters, our Afghani reporters who report for us, and please, please, especially be with those God-given little children, the innocent children from wherever they come from. Help get them out of the country. They don't need to grow up over there watching people die in front of them. And I'm speaking as a mother, Jesus, and you know that. Again, please be with Chad and Stewart's families, their children, if they have any, their parents, their sisters, their brothers, any family associated with them. Be with their platoons or whatever they prefer to call their men. Be with Chad's group. He kind of had to pull together his group at the last minute, and be with Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, his group, and just send a message to the military commanders who are making all these idiotic decisions to remove good men, relieve them of their duties, and to tell certain other men to stop what they're doing because they don't like what they're doing or the way they're doing it. Just bring these men, bring everybody together and give them the strength to work together, and just help the bad guys go their own separate ways, and let them worship whoever they want to worship. But those who want to honor you, Jesus, please bring them to you, or help us bring them to you. And please help us get the rest of our people out of Afghanistan immediately, if you can, if it be your will. And we just thank you for all the blessings you give us on a daily basis. And we put our trust in you to lead and guide us the right ways, and lead and guide our military men the right ways. Bring them all home safe, Lord. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Okay. Well, it's time for me to say good night, I think. Or maybe not. I hope everybody has a good night. The last few nights haven't really been good, but we need to be thankful for any nights that we're given by Jesus. Keep our faith, keep praying, and let's do our best to help our men and women bring our people home. Biden or no Biden, let's find a way to bring them home. And with that said, I will sign out, and God bless you all, and God bless America.